You ever heard a story that creeps into your mind? One that you keep replaying, not for what happened, but for how it felt. I have one like that, about a friend. I promise, you'll understand why she can't stop thinking about that night. She was visiting a coastal town for a short vacation, just a few days of escape. Small guest house, ocean breeze, windows slightly open so the sound of waves lured her to sleep. She loves the salt air, the way it clings to skin, the way it smells after dusk. One evening, she walked into a small local bar. Wood panel walls, dim strings of lanterns, someone strumming a guitar softly in a corner. She ordered a gin and tonic, cold ice cubes clinking, the citrus sharp in her mouth. She was alone, book in hand, but not reading, just listening to the guitar, eyes drifting over to a table where two women sat laughing. One of them was striking. Tall, slim shoulders, bare collarbones visible, hair catching the lantern light so it glinted almost golden. Her laughter floated across the room. My friend caught herself staring. It wasn't just beauty, it was something electric. She watched the way this woman moved her hands when she told a story,
That's so funny.
the way her necklace swung. My friend's heart pulsed with something warm, something she'd forgotten existed. Eventually, the woman's eyes met hers. Once, then again. A subtle tilt of the head. A half smile. My friend stood, walked toward the table without a plan. The woman waved her over. She hesitated, then joined. They talked. Small talk about tide, about the sea, about how humid the night felt. It made skin sticky, made clothes cling. The conversation unfolded slowly, laughter mixed with silences that were too full. At one point, the woman reached over, gently brushed a stray hair behind my friend's ear. My friend felt that touch on her neck, a gentle heat rising. She almost gasped, just behind her lips. The music seems to fade, sounds soften. Nothing else exists except that moment. After they stepped outside, the air was thick, warm, salty. Lanterns swayed gently on the old porch. The ocean waves distant, rhythmic. The woman's fingers found my friend's hand, just taken, not asked, and squeezed. My friend's pulse echoed in her ears, in her throat. She felt alive in a way she hadn't in a long time. They leaned in. A kiss, soft at first, tender, tasting of gin, of sea breeze, of moonlight. It lingered on lips, trembling slightly, reverberating in every nerve. My friend closed her eyes, felt the woman's breath, her lips, her hands that skimmed across her skin. A hand at the small of her back drew her closer, clothes brushed, breaths deepened, shadows danced on walls. They paused. They stood under a lantern, dim light casting gold on skin. My friend could smell the woman's perfume, something floral, something intimate, something she'd want to breathe forever. The woman whispered something she couldn't quite catch, leaned forward, kissed again. Stronger, more urgent. But that night ended not with promises, not with names. Just a look, a final touch. Fingers entwined, lips on her neck, the ocean roaring in the distance. Then the woman let go and walked away. My friend stayed there, under lantern light, heart pounding, watching her disappear into shadows. She walked back to her room alone, but every step behind her felt like forever chasing the taste of those lips. That warmth. That moment when the world had narrowed to two bodies, two heartbeats, two warm breaths mingling in the humid night air. That was all. A night, no promises, no knowing what comes next. But sometimes a single night like that is enough to rewrite what you thought about longing, about what you want, about what you almost allowed yourself to feel. And she keeps replaying it, not because she wants it again exactly the same, but because she remembers what it felt like to be unashamed of craving. If something in this story stayed with you, a glance, a breath, a moment that felt too real to forget, then you already know. Some stories aren't bound by time. They echo. Comment, next story, if you want to hear another. And follow the channel. There's always one more night worth remembering.